Hey y'all, here again. As always, if you like what you're hearing, or just amused by it even if you're just a little bit trolly, like and subscribe, and we'll see where this goes. Anyway, so I heard something. Apparently, now mind you, I have no great love for Donald Trump. I have no animosity for Donald Trump. He's president. That's the way it's going to be. So, most of us should all just get on board and accept it. Not much you can do about it. All the protests in the world aren't going to change nothing. Nobody's going to get a, 2/3 majority of the nation to recall a vote on the president. It's just not going to happen. Now, the thing that I'm a little bit baffled by is Hollywood. These individuals out there, not all of them are this way. Some of them support Trump, some of them don't care. And those are the ones I actually respect the most. The ones that just don't care. Like, you know what, I got my thing to do, so I'm just going to go do that. But what a lot of individuals out there are asking is that all of Hollywood goes on strike. Don't make any Hollywood movies or anything. Don't do any films or nothing like that. Who's that hurting? I mean, really, who's that hurting? Donald Trump gonna care? Nah. Is anybody in the White House gonna care? Nah. And the overwhelming opinion in most circles that I am familiar with is that Hollywood as a whole really isn't putting on anything worth a darn anyway. And so, who are you really hurting? You're hurting the people that work in production crews, camera crews, costumers, all the quote unquote little people that work behind the scenes that aren't making millions and millions of dollars. Most of them ain't even making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Most of them folks are lucky if they're making what I'm making. And who else are you hurting? You're hurting the movie theaters all across the country. Little town places that, get 3 or 4 movies that they show, during any given moment. And hurting all the little employees and whatnot that are making, minimum wage most likely. You're hurting all them folks. You do understand that Donald Trump doesn't have to care. Another thing I saw today was that they're thinking about canceling the Oscars. Or the Emmys. No, it's the Oscars, the movie one. That's right, it was the Oscars. The Emmys is the TV and the Grammys is music. They're thinking about canceling the Oscars in protest of Donald Trump. Okay, here's the part that this really makes me wonder just a little bit. We're thinking about canceling an award show where you're going to give yourselves awards to protest the president. Let that sink in for a second. If that is not the height of pretentiousness, I don't know what is. But all of this whole thing, alludes to a much deeper issue. Okay? You don't have to like Donald Trump. Okay? You didn't vote for him, fine, you didn't vote for him. But the law is what the law is. He got the right votes in the right places. Bang, he's the president. You know, but the deeper issue is that we have so many people in this country, and it's on both sides of the aisle. The Trump thing, it just happens to be the current, hot media thing right now, and that's what I'm addressing. I know it happened with Obama, and I know it happened with Bush. I wasn't really cognizant of it with Clinton, although I was alive at the time. I was in my early teens. But it's the idea that if I don't get my way, I'm going to whine and cry and have a fit, and I'm going to break stuff and burn stuff and do whatever damage I have. And any one of you Republicans and right-wingers want to, bet me on that, I will get you the footage. Okay? It's the whole idea that it's a tantrum mentality is what it is. When you get right down to it, it's an overblown tantrum. It is people acting like 2-year-olds because they didn't get their favorite piece of candy. That's what it is. And to sit and think that because you didn't get your way, that you need to, like Miley Cyrus in tears, come on. Okay? And the Oscar thing is really, when you get down to it, is no different than one of your kids telling you they're going to hold their breath until they get what they want. No, you're not. Especially in the case of a 2-year-old. You got to breathe. And it's the same thing with Hollywood. Their lifeblood, the breath of Hollywood, is being in the spotlight. And as soon as people start to realize the damage that's actually being done, they're going to start turning against them folks. That, and you'll see a whole lot of new talent come up, because while big-name Hollywood actors might go on strike, movie producers are still looking to make a buck. And I guarantee you, if they can't get Robert De Niro to make a movie for them, well, they're going to find somebody that'll fit the bill, I guarantee you. So, at the end of it, people need to learn to be reasonable. Okay? You don't like Donald Trump, where he stands on this, that, and the other thing? Fine, go protest, that's fine. I'm not against protesting. I've done it myself. But when your protesting turns into violent behavior, ridicule, you're no longer protesting. You're just a whiner. You're just a whiner. Plain and simple. That's all it is. I don't care what Donald Trump said. If Donald Trump insulted your mother, okay, he insulted your mother. That still doesn't give you the right to blow up and start, calling people names and, burning buildings and whatever else have you that you feel like doing at the time. It reminds me of a quote, and I don't know who's rightly responsible for the quote. I know it's most often attributed to Mark Twain, so that's who we're going to say we're getting it from. But the quote is that you should not argue with stupid people, because they will bring you down to their level and then beat you with experience. And that's exactly what's happening here. You go out and protest, you start burning buildings or breaking cars or assaulting people, and mind you, again, this isn't all the protesters. This isn't all the people going out there saying something, because, you know, our protests, when I was involved with them, you know, there were people associated with us that weren't necessarily with us, that were doing things that we would not have condoned for any reason. But, you know, when you start doing that stuff, all you're doing is inviting the law to come down on you, and that's pretty daggum stupid. You have a constitutional right to speak your mind, to, you know, to come up against that which you view as tyrannical, but, you know, you don't beat the law by breaking the law. You beat the law by working within the law to change the law. You know, you can't, quite frankly, you can't screw the system. The system screws back a whole lot harder. So anyway, at the end of these videos, I always make a plea for Jesus. I ask you to come to him. And I think it's important. There isn't really a real big Jesus message in this video. It's just, you know, I really think that it would benefit everybody watching and everybody you know to come to Jesus. You know, and Romans 10:9 says, if you believe in your heart and profess with your mouth that, well, I think I got that backwards, but either way, you got to believe it in your heart, profess it out your mouth, that Jesus Christ is the Lord and Savior, and that He died for your sins, and that He rose again. And you believe these things in your heart, and you really mean them, you repent of all your sins, that He is faithful to forgive, and your sins will be forgiven. And so, I just ask you today to do that, because, I mean, we don't know what's coming, and I ain't trying to fearmonger, but we don't know what's coming at the end of this life, and the only way to be certain of anything is to be certain in your heart that He is the Lord. Anyway, out y'all. Have fun.